Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel today. We've got some groundbreaking news that has sent shockwaves through the international arena. China has unveiled a massive project worth $100 billion that is set to reshape global dynamics and significantly impact its relationship with Australia. First off, let's talk about the project that's at the center of this development, the Sandu Project located in Goa, West Africa. The Sandu Project is one of the world's largest untapped iron ore reserves, with an estimated resource of over 2 billion tons. This project has the potential to reshape the global iron ore market. Until now, most of the rights to the mine were held by Rio Tinto, a British-Australian company, the world's third-largest mining conglomerate and the largest in terms of coal production. However, clearly, the company was not doing well with its project in Guinea. Australia, a major iron ore supplier, ships vast amounts of this essential mineral to countries like China. This iron ore is a key ingredient for making steel used in buildings, cars, and more. Therefore, it's more than understandable that China and its booming economy will need hundreds of tons of this raw material. From smartphones to wind turbines, iron is everywhere. Without iron, industries would grind to a halt, impacting economic growth. Developing nations rely on iron for urbanization and industrialization. Its significance is underscored by the fact that iron ore is one of the most traded commodities globally. In essence, iron is the backbone of our modern world, shaping societies and economies alike. Australia's high-quality iron ore reserves, efficient mining practices, and strategic location make it a vital player in the global supply chain. In the financial year 2022, the value of iron ore exported from Australia to China amounted to around 116 billion Australian dollars. China was by far the leading export destination for Australian iron ore. In addition to having its own resources, Australia also invests in mines abroad, such as the Sandu mine discussed today. However, a few years ago, China-Australia relations began to deteriorate significantly. Australia's call for an independent inquiry into the origins of COVID-19 and its decision to ban Chinese tech companies from its 5G network sparked tensions. Trade disputes escalated, with China imposing tariffs on Australian products like wine and barley. Australia's criticism of China's human rights record (STS) on Hong Kong and its PAFIC influence also strained ties. So as you can see, the relationship between Beijing and K is almost as bad as China and the United States. The atmosphere became even more heated when China decided to take over part of a famous and very promising mine in Guinea, until now dominated by Rio Tinto. Just think about it, China depends on Australian iron. But since the relationship has been deteriorating for several years now, they need to look for another country to supply their needs so they don't have to tussle forever with K. And if in addition they can make a bit of trouble for the Australians, then why not take an interest in this project in Guinea? Besides, the Australians are completely unable to handle the construction of this infrastructure for many years. In fact, since the early 2000s, it's been promised that the mine would be built and make huge profits, but so far we're in 2023 and nothing has been completed. Over the years, there have been all sorts of accusations of corruption at Rio Tinto. But that's not all. The mining giant has faced controversy for its environmental practices and treatment of indigenous communities. The company's mining activities have led to ecological damage, including deforestation and pollution. In 2020, Rio Tinto faced global outrage for destroying ancient Aboriginal rock shelters in Australia for an iron ore mine, highlighting its disregard for cultural heritage. These incidents have raised ethical and social concerns, impacting the company's reputation and prompting calls for greater accountability in its operations. The biggest problem with the Guinea iron mine mega project was that there was never a railroad that could transport tons of product from the mine to the port, where it would continue to be shipped to the rest of the world, and who's better at building all kinds of infrastructure, starting from roads to tracks? China, of course. Therefore, it's no wonder that when Beijing sniffed out the Australian problems and the economic potential of the mines, they stepped in. But what impact can this huge project even have on the world economy? Well, we'll tell you about it in a moment, but before we get to that, we want to remind you to give us a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for your support. Now back to our topic. China's involvement in Guinea's project is substantial. China's state-owned aluminum company Chinalco owns a 40% stake in the Sandu iron ore project. Additionally, China-backed consortium SMB Winning holds a 30% stake. This means that China has a majority 70% ownership in the project. The planned $100 billion investment from China encompasses infrastructure development, such as railways and ports, which are vital for transporting the iron ore. Or China's shift towards the Sandu project poses a potential challenge to Australia's iron ore export dominance. As China reduces its reliance on Australian iron ore, it could significantly impact Australia's economy, given that iron ore exports have been a major driver of their GDP. The growing self-sufficiency of China and the iron ore sector might also alter the global trade dynamics, affecting iron ore prices worldwide. And we've all seen what China's mass production has done to certain global markets. Beyond economic considerations, the Sandu project has geostrategic implications. China's increasing investments in Africa have raised concerns in some quarters about its growing influence over the continent's resources and economies. This in turn could lead to a reconfiguration of power dynamics on a global scale. As with any massive project, there are environmental and social concerns. To address the Sandu project is no exception. It's crucial for both China and Guinea to ensure that the project's development adheres to environmental standards and respects the rights of local communities. Striking a balance between economic development and sustainability will be a significant challenge, especially if companies such as Rio Tinto have already had huge problems with environmental pollution malpractice. According to specialists, China's investment in Sandu signals a profound recalibration of global resource dynamics, impacting both its economic relations and strategic positioning. On the other hand, some economists have said that Australia's dependence on iron ore exports might necessitate a strategic pivot to counteract potential market shifts. These perspectives underscore the gravity of this development. In conclusion, China's announcement of the $100 billion to Sandu project has sent ripple throughout the world, particularly in the context of its relationship with Australia. This mega investment has the potential to reshape the global iron ore market, alter trade dynamics, and have broader geopolitical consequences. And this project, inconspicuous as it may seem, can really start a new chapter in the raw materials market. So what do you think the consequences of China's takeover of this miner going to be? Let us know your thoughts on this project in the comments below. And if you want to hear more about the other mega projects that China's investing in, watch our other videos by clicking here. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.